excessively for the price. And now, due to the introduction of the Nook, now most e-readers are now cost as less as $69 for the lowest device. And about 5 years ago, it cost like 500. So the Sony reader is the first mover in the market. However, the Sony doesn't take advantage to take market share. It's now making a premium on the device, but the Sony reader itself is more expensive and doesn't have most function compared to the Nook and the Kindle. And next, we talk about the iPad. iPad is not an e-reader itself. It is a tablet that costs $500. But actually, most people, iPad is having the highest market share in the tablet world. And the iPad, you can use the iPad to read any book from the iBook store, the Kindle, or the Nook. And with the Kindle, you cannot do it. So, and also with the introduction of the new iPad mini, priced at only $329, the iPad is possessing a very dangerous threat to Amazon's strategy itself. So, Nook versus Kindle versus Sony versus iPad. Of those, there are many threats with the Kindle. However, Kindle is still holding the largest market share. In a nearest estimation, that Kindle is having like 67% of market share in the US. And another estimate that of the 3 e-readers one buys, 2 a Kindle. So the Kindle is still possessing the highest market share of all rivals. Next, we discuss about the Kindle critical success factors. There are 5 success factors I consider to be the most crucial to Kindle strategy. The first is Amazon ecosystem. So, what do you do with 137 million customers? Ask them to buy the Kindle. So, the Kindle ad is shown in the Amazon homepage. And Amazon is using its customer base in its Prime program to offer a program to offer its buyer to buy the Kindle. And the users with Amazon Prime actually borrow the book for free. And the Kindle is priced at a very low price to its customer. And it's actually the lowest in the market. So with Amazon ecosystem, it has a huge opportunity to expand its Kindle market share. Also, Amazon is the biggest ebook store in the web, and it's really possessed in the Kindle strategy. So according to product success factor, a product is likely to become successful if it market proficiently and commit a significant amount of resources to selling and promoting a successful products. I would see that Amazon is very serious in possessing the Kindle because it sees the futures in digital format. The Sony doesn't see it, and the Sony, even though wrapped early entrants, but the market share is pretty low compared to Kindle at this time because it doesn't devote most resources to promote the Sony reader. Another critical success factor is international market early entry. This is interesting because Amazon is very early in approaching international market. As an eBay seller myself, I see international market account for 70% of what I saw on eBay. So the Kindle is available from customers from over 100 countries, which is very, very big number. And the Kindle can be shipped worldwide. And also, in order to do this, the copyright issue have been negotiated and shaped by Amazon. For example, if one buy the book The Perfect Thing in London, the UK publisher eBury will get the sales instead of the US publisher Simon & Schuster's. So the Kindle International Edition also have the pre-installed dictionary, Unicode, and also all kind of tools needed for customer to view the book in its own language. Another success factor is high performance to cost. The Kindle is the lightest ebook reader, weighing only 6 ounces. And also, it has the lowest price, $69. And also it's the thinnest too. And the ebook store has 1 million books available, and also the ebook price is relatively cheaper than competitors. So with this, one can get a very high performance device at a much cheaper price to competitors. And also we have to mention that if you buy the Kindle on Amazon, you don't have to pay the sales tax. If you buy the Barnes & Noble, Nook, or even the its ebook, you have to pay the sales tax. So the price is for the Kindle is much cheaper compared to the Nook. The Nook is priced at $79 compared to the Kindle lowest at $69. Another success factor is the well-planned R&D process. As I mentioned above, Amazon has utilized a business model to incorporate the latest technology to the device. The device is developed by Lab 126, and now the Kindle is having all kind of newest technology. It has WhisperNet, the backlight Kindle, text-to-speech, and all kind of fancy features. Please note that the backlight Kindle is much different than the backlight introduced at the Nook Low Light, because the Kindle backlight is dispersed evenly within the device, while the Nook the light is only dispersed in the top of the device, so making the Kindle more readable. And also the Kindle has the highest highest contrast rate in the e-readers. And also we have to mention the new patent by Amazon. Amazon is always pursuing new strategy to incorporate newest technology into its products. The newest part just filed under Jeff Bezos' name is called with this patent, the power and content can be delivered wirelessly from the nearby station. We also receive and process user input, and this is believed that Amazon is going to put a lot of stations in college in order to receive and wirelessly deliver content to college students. The next, we talk about the direct publishing program, KDP. So Kindle is among the first retailers to offer individual authors its direct publishing program, which removed the need for the third-party publisher. And with this program, the royalty for author can be as much as 35 to 70% for every book sold, and you don't have to pay any setup fee in order to get your ebook in the Kindle store. A lot of people see a huge success with this Kindle publishing program, such a huge Huawei who sell more than 500,000 copies on Amazon and get 5,000 reviews, even before that its print format is published. So this illustrates an excellent illustration for self-publishing. And also, the process is so simple. You have to upload the book, write descriptions, and provide all kind of details to the books. And then you publish it to the Kindle store and wait until it sells. You don't have to pay any premium fee before that. The next, we talk about adoption rate. So why people buy the Kindle and why don't they buy the print book? The Kindle offers some advantage over a print book and still have some disadvantage. The first, it is lightweight. It just sticks out and you get whole thousands of books. As a college student, I found that is very convenient because I had to carry 3 to 4 textbooks for me in some day, and it's just too heavy for me to bear. I wish one day I can just hold like a small device like the Kindle and I can access any chapter I like. Because one day I don't study the whole book, but I just study like a few pages or a few chapters. The next, the Kindle is highly customizable, offer fun changing, letter resizing, text-to-speech, and so forth. I know that some people prefer to read text in bigger font and some read in a smaller font. And you can do it with printed book, but the Kindle is easy to do so. The Kindle is very environmental friendly, so no tree need to be chopped down to produce an ebook, because we cut down a billion of trees every year in order to produce books, and it's very harmful to the environment. But with the Kindle, the cost to produce an ebook is almost nothing because some kilobytes download the the ebook from the internet, and it's there for you to use. Also, one of the features I found much more powerful in Kindle, as a book reader, I take note all the time. It's like reading a book, studying for an exam, I often take note to know where should I focus. So note taking is very powerful in Kindle because the note you wrote can be referenced and edited easily in the Kindle compared to print book. If you edit in that, it will stay there forever and you cannot search it. Also, the next thing is a backlight technology allow user to read book in the dark. You can apparently cannot read book in the dark. And also, ebooks price are relatively cheaper than books. Most ebooks in the Kindle store sell at $9.99 and some even lower. But the cost to purchase a hardcover or paperback is more expensive because it includes the cost to print the book, to ship the book, and for all a cost for personnel. So ebooks are much cheaper than books. However, the print book also has some advantage compared to the Kindle. The print book has no startup investment. The price of the Kindle is $69, but with that price you can buy 10 books. So why the need for the Kindle when you can buy 10 books and you can read for a year? Also, the printed book has a book-like feeling. As some person that I know, like a lot of them, prefer the book-like feeling, the feeling of turning the pages compared to pressing the button, and the book still have some feeling for people, and that's why not a lot of people like the new feeling that they feel in the e-readers. And the book I found very convenient because I buy printed book most of the time on Amazon. Simply, it can be resell at a much cheaper price. At a cheaper price, but at least I get the book at a much cheaper price. So the book can be lent, can be borrowed, or can be resold. Why the ebook? You cannot do it because it is DRM. The print book is durable. Why I say so? You can drop the book, you can pour water in the book, it's still readable. But with the Kindle, it broke. And why the Kindle has long battery, has very convenient and easy software, but the print book doesn't need for battery, software, or any update at all, so it's easy to use. So this figure, we see that the adoption rate of e-readers in different countries. So even though that about 7% of the US population own an e-readers, as much as 35% person in Germany haven't heard of the term e-reader yet. So the product adoption rate in countries varies, and one of the contribution factor is not most of the ebook are available in different language rather than English. So that's why US and UK are leading in the adoption rate in the e-reader. So next slide, we discuss about the future of publishing. Despite the rapid growth of ebook, the sales of the traditional books still grow at a steady rate. And we know that consumers spend 1.8 billion buying books in 2009 alone. And the book production grew 1,000% during the period of 2002 to 2010. And also the US print output still increased by 5% in 2010, except even though that year marked the dramatically reduced price for e-readers. So let's see that we can consider the books to be the anti-fragile method, because it has withstood the effect of TV, personal computer, and the internet, so it still remains popular in either area. It's like now we mostly buy the book in the MP3 in iTunes store, but we can still buy the newly released CD on Amazon. Next, I offer some recommendation for Amazon to try in the next area. The first offer, as a college student, I would say that Amazon should jump into the textbook market, and it's doing it right now. Because as a student, I felt that book is very heavyweight, Kindle doesn't have like the color, so it cannot display all textbook correctly. And also the screen is pretty small. If it's not a Kindle file, you cannot display the textbook correctly. So Amazon need to address this. And as we know that the young reader are amongst the demographic that have a high adoption rate for e-readers. So Amazon really have to focus on this. The second would be the strategy versus Apple. And this is interesting because why Amazon is offering its global strategy, it doesn't offer Kindle Fire to be sold globally. And the Kindle Fires can only be sold in the US market. And that's why an Apple product are sold globally. So the iPad is still having the highest market share of tablet in worldwide compared to Amazon. And with the iPad mini release, Amazon need to think seriously about how to compete with Apple with the newly introduced device. The next will be book in multiple language. As a two figure we see before, we see that the reason for low adoption rate is probably the book are not available in different language. If we can increase the book available in different language in the Amazon Kindle store, we probably have more buyers in Germany and Netherlands heard more about the term e-readers, and they probably buy more Amazon products and e-readers. And next, I talk about the color e-ink Kindle. This is important because we know that most of the textbooks now are colored, and a lot of the books like comic, manga, and so forth use color. So a color e-ink is important, as we know that now e-ink can only show the non-color one, black and white version. So Amazon needs to think a strategy to offer the color e-ink to its customers before of the Nook and Sony readers, because it needs to be the first mover in this market. And also Amazon needs to improve its retail channel. Why? Because Amazon products are sold mostly online. As we know, the Kindle it have very prominent features, but a lot of customers don't want to buy the product until they see the product, they touch and they feel it. So that's why now Barnes & Noble are processing this strategy to offer Nook in all store. Why Amazon lose Target and Walmart as a retailers? Because they fear that, they just fear that Amazon, they fear the idea of the customer come to the store to touch, to feel the product before they go to Amazon and buy the product to avoid the sales cycle and enjoy lower price. So the idea of showrooming are threatening Amazon, Walmart and Target's business. So they drop the Kindle line. So Amazon need to rethink of this strategy and expand its retail business. In conclusion, so follow my thesis. I see that ebooks and e-readers are becoming a major force of influence in the book publishing industry. We cannot deny that because ebooks are the rating star. As the nearest estimation, the ebooks is having 25% of books sold in the US. So with the new Kindle, Amazon has all the criteria needed to be competitive in the e-reader world. It's a market mover, and also with the Kindle is the cheapest device, and it has a very high marketing power. So the Kindle provides value to customer, and we cannot deny that Kindle will also benefit author and publisher in numbers of ways. It increases the author's revenue and profit by offering KDP, and benefit publishers by offering more books to sell online, so more people can afford to buy the ebook instead of paying for a book which is more expensive. However, the publishers still get more profit because the ebook are relatively cheaper to produce than printed book. So with all of the above, the Kindle has changed and it's changing the publishing industry, and it have a very prominent future if it's processing strategy. And Amazon has made the right move for the Kindle. So it's going to be the end of my slideshow. I'll accept all questions and recommendations and advice from the product community. And all the questions I try to explain it to you. So thank you for listening.
Any questions?
Well, I'm still thinking, have any questions?
I feel like you folks like,
I mean,
main
I've known, I mean,
so.
you answered almost everything we gave you, so that's good. You know, so we went through 2 rounds, so we had all the
2 rounds
questions
already.
with him already.
Yeah.
He's answered all the